The book of Nehemiah is all about rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. In Nehemiah chapter 3, we find families working together, hanging doors with bolts and bars, erecting gates to fortify the city. We even read of a man named Shallum who was doing this construction along with his daughters. This building of Jerusalem was a family project. God was working in them both to will and to do for his good pleasure. As our church continues to grow and expand and remodel and build, it is important for us to do this with the end in view. In Nehemiah's day, that goal was to reestablish a house of worship and prayer for all the nations. The city walls did not exist for themselves. They existed to protect and surround the temple. Worship was, always has been, and still is the chief end of man. And this is reflected even in how the book of Nehemiah comes to a climax. In chapter 12, we read of two enormous choirs who come together from the surrounding villages. Nehemiah says this, "So I brought the leaders of Judah up on the wall and appointed two large thanksgiving choirs. One went to the right hand on the wall toward the refuse gate. The other thanksgiving choir went the opposite way. And I was behind them with a half of the people on the wall, going past the tower of the ovens as far as the broad wall, and above the gate of Ephraim, above the old gate, above the fish gate, the tower of Hananel, the tower of the 100, as far as the sheep gate, and they stopped by the gate of the prison." Why did all of those families rebuild those gates and walls and towers a few chapters earlier? It was so that the choir would have somewhere to stand, so that music would resound in Jerusalem, so that they could keep the festivals and celebrate God's goodness to them. It says in Nehemiah 12:43, "In that day they offered great sacrifices and rejoiced, for God made them rejoice with great joy. The women and the children also rejoiced, so that the joy of Jerusalem was heard afar off." It sounds as if God would want us to be joyful. And so the exhortation Nehemiah has for us is this: build with joy, rejoice with joy, rejoice with your family's worship with joy, so that our joy may be heard a long ways off.